25th anniversary of independence of the Republic of Kazakhstan. 10th anniversary of КазАгро National Management Holding. Land of our hopes. Land, a cradle of human civilization, living environment for all living things, source of natural resources. The ancient Kazakhs treated a land more than just the environment, were leashed by sacred ties with land. The nomads were shifting from place to place and developing new spaces and areas, protecting their land and preserving its resources. Thanks to the nomads, the modern Kazakhstan inherited a vast domain of 272.49 million hectares. Agricultural lands cover 100.8 million hectares of the total area. 68.3 million of hectares are covered by pastures. 24.3 million of hectares are the farm fields. And almost 100 million hectares is the governmental reserve area, which park could be involved in working. Today, these background factors play out in fresh colors in the strategic matrix of Kazakhstan. Together with Australia and Canada, Kazakhstan takes the leading place in the world in terms of area of arable land per capita. Variety of the climatic zones and soil let us be competitive in various areas. The 90s is the reference point to the contemporary history of the agriculture in Kazakhstan. Transformations touched all spheres of the country's life after the USSR's disintegration. Agriculture was the most sensitively affected by these transition costs.
Создалось такое впечатление, что остановилась жизнь. И это
It appeared as if life had stopped. Mostly was observed at the enterprises which worked according to the complex and tough technologies. I mean the livestock breeding farms, large poultry production units.
крупные животноводческие комплексы, крупные птицеводческие комплексы.
In this period, the government uses the alternative rural support, allocation of the land plots and shares, debt relief of the agricultural producers, introduction of the preferential tax treatment, and establishment of the development institutions. Agriculture experienced this transition period until 2002. By that time, thanks to the foreign investments to the base materials sectors, resources appeared in the national budget. Some enterprises established in the agricultural sector, those had a potential to grow. At that time, our president said unequivocally at one of the agriculture-related meetings, "Guys, money are appearing now, but I need to see those who can be supported by the government. Who you are, where is that owner, how much is it effective today?" A new program, A Year of the Village, was launched in 2003. 3 priorities were assigned for a 5-year period, such as reformation of the regulatory framework, stabilization of the agricultural sector, and social changes in the village life. 3 key codes have been adopted, such as Land Code, Forestry Code, and Water Code, and a whole set of laws regarding the seed farming, phytosanitary and insurance related to the crop production and veterinary medicine, in order to implement the President's initiative. The National Agri-Food Program became a basic strategic document. The government has allocated 150 billion Kazakhstan tenge to finance the agriculture during the 3-year period from 2003 to 2005. The amount of 600 billion Kazakh tenge was received from various sources to upgrade and renew the fixed capital. In 2004, I bought the first combine harvesters of medium class. I have them still operating. I was so happy at that time. I used them to harvest such a big amount of grain. 7 years Rural Area Development Program was adopted in 2004 in order to complete the circuit of task solutions of 2 key rural problems, economy and social sphere. The government has allocated 976 billion Kazakh tenge to implement this program. These funds were used to build 579 water supply facilities, 448 kilometers of rural roads, 604 educational facilities, and 424 healthcare facilities. law on the governmental regulation of the agricultural business and rural development, adopted in 2005, can be considered as a bonding legislative bridge of two key programs. This document allowed arranging the relations between the government and agricultural business and systemizing the financial support measures. It actually completed formation of foundation of the Kazakhstani agricultural sector. We have formed a basis to develop the agribusiness industry based on the preferential tax treatment, a system of the rural credit cooperatives. It makes us happy to see that these mechanisms are operating still. According to the certain criteria such as the social and economic potential, infrastructure and social development, we have certified all the settlements existing at that time. Two programs have been developed as a single set. It was the right approach, as a village is not just the production source, it is a lifestyle. That's why I think it would not be enough just to tell about successful development of the agribusiness industry without supporting the vital issues. The next stage of the agribusiness industry appeared in 2006. The agricultural sector receives a carte blanche in the form of the increased funding, active participation in the import substitution program, and increased export potential. A fundamentally new management format was required to solve these problems. In December 2006, the government had transferred assets of 7 institutes of the agribusiness industry development and financing to a new structure, National Holding, КазАгро. A new chapter starts from this point in the history of the Kazakh agriculture. This chapter can be noted as the 10 years of forming the growth hotbed. Grain sector. In terms of the national agriculture, this industry sector has reached the highest level of development. The technical park was actively upgraded here and mastered the energy-saving technologies, introduced new accounting and grain movement systems, formed modern infrastructure for storage, grain conditioning, and product transshipment. These processes promoted the Kazakh grain to become more efficient and competitive in the world market. Kazakhstan consistently ranks 10th of the world's grain producers for several years.
Kazakhstan produces the best wheat in the world, and actually a lot of experts confirm this. Your high-quality hard wheat with its high protein content gives you a competitive edge over other exporters in the region.
Today, it is a time when the further industrial development must be adjusted. The rational kernel of this process is to reboot the industry priorities and focus the public financial assets to the processing area, including use of the funding. In case of forwarding this wheat for processing or some storage, with the subsequent processing, then basically it could be subsidized and already enter some foreign markets by presenting the goods of the higher added value. Dairy farming. Shape of the contemporary production of this sector started outlining in 2007. КазАgro Holding used the leasing tool for the first time to import the elite breeds of animals to Kazakhstan. A great project for cattle delivery took place thanks to KazAgro and KazAgro Finance Company. We were the first to bring cows from Canada by air. Today, the cattle breeding makes as good results as the field crop cultivation. The most important fact is that people are employed year-round. People are working in the winter and summertime. They consistently get paid every month. Gradually, other national agro formations started implementing the pedigree transformation. This process has intensified after accomplishment of the investment projects, some of which are unique. This dairy farm produces raw material for the Amaran company. Amaran is the only Kazakh enterprise that produces children's and medicinal and prophylactic food. Funds invested by KazAgro Finance help to purchase the selected livestock, farming machinery, and equipment. We produce infants' food. For it, we need a very high-quality milk. Therefore, we are making 24 different tests of milk. Some small farm households acquired a chance to purchase the breeding dairy animals, equipment, and machinery after emergence of the YIRIS program, introduced by KazAgro through their financial support fund. Program attracted with the credit conditions low interest rate. I have time to develop my business. Processing enterprises started their technical upgrading under the investment projects, together with improving the genetic potential of the milking herd. Some enterprises went far ahead in these terms.
Когда мы построили новый молзавод, мы его производительность увеличили.
When we built a new milk factory, we've increased its productive capacity by 2.5 times compared to the previous factory. The energy consumption rate was twice less than it was at the old factory. Just imagine what tremendous reserves we have in terms of energy saving.
Колоссальные резервы в вопросах энергосбережения.
Despite the significant progress in relation to the productive capacity and technological effectiveness, the efficiency of the raw material for processing enterprises, the restricted range of dairy products remains to be a weak component in this industry. Cooperation is a solution of the problem.
На самом деле речь идет о кооперации отдельных функций.
Actually, we are talking about cooperation of some functions, that everyone produces their products individually, but to transfer it to the cooperative in the sales function. I've milked a cow in the morning, I need to deliver a milk somewhere. It should not bother me. If I need food, they will bring it to me.
Если мне нужны корма, у меня не должна голова болеть, мне должны привезти.
Meat stock farming. Building of industry strength has started from remarkable programs. Development of the cattle export potential. Broad field of action was provided within the industry in 2011 to promote transformation of the meat production into a qualitatively new state. Creation of the pedigree reproducers to increase the inflow of valuable genetic material. Involving farmers in the commodities production using the Sibaga program. Formation of the feeding platforms. Development of the high-tech butchering and meat processing facilities. Good results have been achieved in relation to 3 items of this program: pedigree reproducers, pedigree transformation, and feeding platforms. Pedigree reproduction facilities were replenished with 60,000 of elite animals of foreign selection imported to Kazakhstan in 5 years. We had sufficient number of reproduction facilities by that time. They had already started breeding here in Kazakhstan. Characteristics of their offspring complied with our program requirements. Canadian experts, those advising their Kazakh colleagues and monitoring the pedigree reproduction facilities, were impressed by what they saw.
Do what Kazakhstan has done in a matter of less than 10 years, develop a beef industry, is huge credit to the farmers and the people involved. But it takes time to truly create stability within the industry.
Kazakhstan managed to create both a high-quality core of the beef herds and implement the large-scale pedigree transformation using the Sibaga program, getting the young stock in sufficient amount and improved productive attributes.
2012 жылы Сыбаға бағдарламасы бойынша 385 бас.
Using the Sibaga program in 2012, we bought 385 animals of the breeding stock and breeding male calves of Kazakh white-headed breed. These species were hybridized with the local livestock population. This year we had 300 young animals. A network of the feeding platform was arranged in Kazakhstan over the 5-year period under the program, development of the export potential of the cattle meat. Today we have examples of enterprises in the meat stock farming, those working according to the cluster model, thanks to the investments provided by КазАгро Finance and the Agro Credit Corporation. Bijan Company has facilities in Almaty and Kokshetau cities. It is a feeding platform, slaughterhouse, meat processing complex, sausages and deli meat producing company shops in Almaty and Astana cities. We've just recently started to export our batches to Moscow. People are interested in our products. As a rule, the Muscovites like our products. Quality of Kazakh products was noted at the International Food Exhibition, World Food Moscow 2016, where the tin meat by Bijan was awarded gold medals. Aktep Company, based in the Aktobe region, has the following assets: pedigree reproduction facilities, feeding platform for 12,000 animals, and the meat processing complex. On a monthly basis, the company exports 200 tons of beef to Russia. The company is planning to increase the production volumes and expand the export capacity. It is difficult to compare the Kazakhstani potential with something else.
Потенциал Казахстана, трудно.
There is no other country in the world that has free space for establishing and developing the meat production industry, especially cattle.
мясного производства именно крупного рогатого скота.
At the same time, the Kazakhstan's meat industry has a chance to produce the premium products. They need to add the balanced feed to the pastures resource in order to accomplish this potential. As shown by the investment project carried out by the КазАгро holding together with the German corporate group Agrovis Rifsin, it is not just enough to open the high-tech enterprises producing the animal feed. It is important to stimulate the combined feed purchase in order to fully charge the production capacities of such plants. This innovation will appear under the optimization grants. One of the areas of new governmental program is the funding of the combined feed to make the animals receive the balanced feed. The farmers cannot buy it because, frankly speaking, the price is pretty high. Therefore, the government is considering an option for funding these combined feeds. Poultry. Many years, the domestic eggs market is consistently and fully provided by the products of the Kazakhstani poultry farms. However, the poultry meat market is still dependent on imports. In this regard, the poultry farms have outstanding capacities for import substitution and access to the export markets. Experience of the company from the South Kazakhstan region provides attainability of these objectives. Ortobasi Kuz Complex. The poultry complex consists of several independent production facilities, incubator house, 25 poultry houses, feed processing plant, and a slaughterhouse. The project was implemented due to the investments provided by КазАгро Finance Company, a subsidiary of КазАгро. This project is considered the most high-tech in the poultry industry in Central Asia. With many offers through the Moscow market, distributors say if we offer these products to the customers, we would not be ashamed of it, as it is of very high quality. Fruit and vegetable sector. Greenhouses using the computer and resource-saving technologies, artificial soil, intensive type gardens, outdoor vegetables planting based on the drip irrigation method. Today, Kazakhstan is successfully practicing all these types of production methods and technologies. There are 41 greenhouse complexes in the project portfolio of the КазАгро holding. 33 of them were put into operation. 63 projects have already been implemented out of 66 projects designated to production based on the drip irrigation method. 14 projects are accomplished in the field of horticulture. Moreover, КазАгро has already invested 41 projects of the vegetable stores construction and modernization. Greenhouse complex built within the Almaty Industrial Zone is one of the new projects in 2016. Business area is 12 hectares. Production capacity is 3,200 tons of tomatoes and 4,000 tons of cucumbers. Complex is working according to the technology of the Dutch company Dulsen.
Greenhouses here are more modern than in Holland because this is the newest technology what we are bringing here.
It is the 7th generation greenhouses. They have a supplementary lighting system and water recirculation system. It means it's reusing water. Due to this fact, we would save up to 40% of water. An anniversary milestone, 10 years, appeared in the calendar of the history of КазАгро holding. Over this period, the holding company's assets have increased 6.6 times, profit amount increased 2.9 times. Equity capital increased 3.4 times. КазАгро attracted 5.4 Kazakh tenge from the capital markets for every budget tenge. More than 2.3 trillion Kazakh tenge was invested by various investment sources to develop and support the agricultural sector. Institutes of КазАгро are the only one and probably lifeline that can grant loans. They are more specially treating this industry. Therefore, we find these financial programs implemented by КазАгро successful. Despite the absence of the long-term loans and the almost inaccessibility of the bank loans for small and medium-sized agribusiness, today the agricultural sector is one of the key sectors for sustainable growth of the national economy. It has the potential to become a driver of the Kazakh economy. I think that the holding role should only increase in these conditions. There are more than 40 credit products in the holding portfolio. More than 36,000 pieces of equipment have been purchased and leased at the amount of 39 billion Kazakhstan tenge. Over 100,000 microloans have been granted. In the total amount of the Kazakh micro-lending, every 9 microcredits out of 10 have been granted to the farmers and villagers through the Fund of the Agricultural Financial Support. 171 credit cooperatives have been established due to the Agro Credit Corporation. Formation of the super-modern reference-level production lines, increase of the export potential of the agricultural products, attracting foreign capital is the achievement of the investment projects implemented by КазАгро Finance, Agro Credit Corporation, and Prague Corporation companies.
Было профинансировано 530 инвестиционных проектов по всему Казахстану.
We financed 530 investment projects across Kazakhstan and created large production facilities of meat processing, milk production and processing. We created the industrial greenhouses, installed the extensive gardens, and we allocated the funds to the industrial production development. If we don't have all these production facilities and business they produce today, including those formed and generated by us, we would not simply have anything to offer to the investors.
То нам просто нечего было бы, наверное, предлагать инвесторам.
Starting from 2017, the Kazakh agricultural sector will synchronize their watches with the governmental program of the agribusiness industry development. Imperative objective of this program is to switch the agriculture to the accelerated development mode and make it drive the Kazakh economy. We will not make our long-term health and stability dependent on the natural resources only, which are actually abundant in Kazakhstan. In this regard, formation of new drivers of the economic growth is the basic objective for this period. The program's objective is to ensure the optimal conditions for producing and processing the competitive products. Export market is the macro demand index.
У нас имеется огромный потенциал в переработке продуктов питания.
We have a great potential for foods processing in accordance with the international requirements and standards. We're becoming one of the largest exporters and cover this niche as the producers of clean, organic, and safe products.
Экологически чистой, органической, безопасной продукции.
Geography of the international supplies of Kazakh products can be seen through the demands of the Russian, Chinese, and Arabian markets, prospects that become available and achievable under the transit development, logistics optimization, and striking a balance of interest. Capabilities of the Kazakhstani export are restricted by insufficient volumes of products, lack of well-arranged system of regular supplies, and small-scale production rates. 180,000 farmers and peasant farm enterprises are operating in Kazakhstan. Most of them have small plots. Therefore, usually they cannot afford to buy the advanced technologies available in using the expensive machinery. This directly affects the production efficiency and quality of their products. Therefore, in the new program, the Ministry of Agriculture is placing its stake in focusing on cooperation. Small farms and private subsidiary farming are the main members of the cooperative movement. It is expected to cover 670,000 small farms. Cooperatives will produce certain amounts of products together with providing raw materials for unhigh usage repressors. Cooperatives can be established not only with the purpose of production, but also for providing services, for the sale and storage of products, for instance. Loan system and subsidizing of the agribusiness industry will be optimized under the new program. This program will become more clear, accessible, and efficient, performance-oriented. Map of the crop cultivated area was adjusted. Oil-bearing, feeding crops, and such industrial crops as sugar beet will mostly occupy the agricultural fields. The laws make us confident in achieving these objectives. Already the adopted laws on cooperation, on organic products, and the new law that will be effective from January 1st, 2017. The law on amendments and modifications, some land relationships, regulation legislative acts of the Republic of Kazakhstan. The new law considers experience and ambitious plans of Kazakhstan's agricultural industry.
25 жылдың ішінде біз сіз 90 жылмен қазіргі
During these 25 years, from the 90s to 2016, we could notice the economic growth, agricultural recovery, and development of the rural districts. If earlier we said, here you are, land, take it and cultivate it. Today we say, diversify, increase the harvesting capacity. In this case, we provide various preferences and opportunities for growth. According to the experts' forecast, the new program will radically change the national agricultural industry. Efficiency of the livestock will increase by 58%, crop production by 40%. By 2021, additional increase in the agricultural production will be 33%. By the next anniversary of independence, in 5 years, the Ministry of Agriculture will provide the exemplary instances, real facts, and specific figures of the governmental program of the agribusiness industry development, of things those that have already been passed and achieved, planned and designed by Kazakhstan in terms of agriculture today, make us believe in the future success.
We know how promising agriculture is, but we also know how challenging it is to reform this particular sector in any country. There are no easy recipes, but Kazakhstan has found ways to turn other big challenges into successes.
Secret of this approach is an understanding of invaluable fortune Kazakhstan has, how it is important to dispose it properly, make this treasure and fortune working today and tomorrow, always. First of all, land is something sacral. It is a treasure for people and for the nation. It is not for nothing. Kazakhs say, motherland. Land is compared to the mother. Land gives us a lot of things. We need to work and we need to cultivate it. As they say, what goes around comes around. Land is something that can make us successful and competitive. Something that can feed us. Yes, exactly. Invest our knowledge and skills, experience, new technologies, and preserve it for our children too. Land is like a source of our wealth. The more land you have, the more you take care of it, the more profit you have.
Земля – это самое главное богатство нашей страны. Это самое главное богатство.
Land is a resource that we can always easily use to earn and live in peace.
Другое сырье, нефть, газ и так далее. Земля – это тот ресурс, на котором мы всегда сможем спокойно зарабатывать и спокойно жить.
It is a land of hope both for my country and for my family. My father was cultivating this land, and I'll keep on doing it.